My pony, my saddle.
You singing that song after what we just talked about just really made me question some of my life choices.
The question is, while you were questioning, were you happy?
No.
Oh, damn. What has the past 20 years been for, anyway?
For what happened when we were walking down the stairs.
What was this just now?
We went to go get food.
What did you do? What happened?
Ashley's hiding in her womb of handkerchief.
My hanky womb.
Did you?
No, when we went downstairs to get a soda and get ice cream sandwiches for everybody. Sorry, Ashley, you brought it up. She was walking in front of me, and we're both going down the stairs pretty rapidly, so I guess she assumed since she was going down fast, I was further behind, and she farted, and my knee hit her bum at the same time. I was like, you farted.
And my knee touched it.
My knee touched the fart. And I didn't know what to do with myself, and she didn't know what to do with herself, and
It was good times. We
best
laughed.
friend life. We did. Do it. Oh.
Quietly, though, because the ruler's asleep on the couch. So it was more like...
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
now that Ashley's farted on my knee, let's start the show.
Hello and welcome. We are the Ladies of Strange. I'm Ashley.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Rebecca.
Thank you for joining us each week as we discuss.
The history, mystery, and theory.
Of all things questionable, odd, and eerie. Hi, guys.
Hello.
How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
So fabulous.
I'm getting over last week.
What was last week?
What was last week?
Last week was when we found out.
That people like us?
I wouldn't go that far.
No, about ghost sex.
Oh. Wah, wah.
People like to have sex with ghosts. Don't yuck, they're young.
No, I'm not yucking their yum. I'm just me being awkward.
Yeah, well, we're
I
used
loved
to that
it.
by now.
To be fair, it could have not have been ghosts and it still would have made me feel the same way. So,
To
Fair.
be fair, I have been talking about that nonstop since we recorded.
and I've been toning it out nonstop a lot.
I had a fabulous conversation with one of my parents about it. So,
Okay.
yeah. I was like, hey, did you know this is a thing? And they were like, no, but I do now, and life has changed.
There's hope always now. Too funny.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were talking about the random spike that we had in our follows and listens and downloads and
No big deal, but we love y'all and please
oh
keep
my
doing
God, we
it.
love you so much.
There were, I'd say, probably 5 or 6 individual massive freakouts throughout last week.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
From a download spike to Stephen Pappas of this is
She's so excited she can't even talk.
to Stephen Pappas of Is This Adulting Knows Who We Are and vouched for us.
Oh my God.
It was crazy talk.
There, I melted in my chair onto the floor.
And then she came over to my building and was like, and I'm like, I got to finish this email. What do you want?
She's like, no.
No.
There will be no email.
Give me 5 minutes.
finishing.
And she went, and went to someone else.
It was amazing.
Was that when I was on the phone with you?
Yes. I made noises of pure excitement that I didn't know I could make.
I understood there were excitement noises, but I had to get that email out. And I'm like, I need 5 minutes. I know something very important is going on, but this has to happen because I kind of like being paid.
Get your priorities straight, Rebecca. Come on. Stephen frickin' Pappas.
Stephen, Chicken Boy, Pappas.
And Steve Grimmett.
Chris.
Damn it. Sorry. Well, that's
And
ruined.
the other one.
To be fair, his name changes weekly on his
True.
show.
It's,
Guess
that's
who's
true.
the one who doesn't social media outside of managing the social?
Words are...
You ready to record your episode, Rebecca?
It's fine. Everything's fine. See, here's the thing. I mess up. I feel awkward. I try to fix it. More awkward and noises.
And then she chugs wine and messes up words even more. Don't chug in the
Steve
microphone.
Grimmett. Good old sweet Steve Grimmett.
Moving
It's
on.
okay. I'm sure there's tons of people out there that still get us all mixed up too.
Yeah, they think they like Ashley, but in reality, they like me. Big deal.
Wounds. Why you gotta reopen them?
Just slicing away. Oh, that's dark.
Time for a story.
Story time.
Story time.
Excellent.
Have you guys heard of Hans Mueller? Hans Mueller.
Hans Mueller.
Back to the not being able. I could say Yolokotrin, but regular words.
Hans Mueller.
Hans Mueller.
Probably. Mueller.
I don't know if I have. What is he?
Back in the 1800s, he and his wife opened a sausage factory in New Orleans.
Oh.
Mhm. They were known for being good-natured, having excellent customer service, and, most importantly, making amazing sausages.
I'm sure they did.
Because why else would they have a business
In New Orleans.
with sausages?
Keep your assumptions to yourself.
I'm sorry. My eyes are wide.
Tiffany.
I have wide eyes.
We talked about
Not my
sausages
fault.
last week. It's fine.
She's going either sexual or
dead bodies.
cannibalistic.
Over time, Hans became disinterested in his wife, and the hard work aged her before her time.
He was all about the sausage life.
And eventually,
Me too.
he found a young mistress that he fell in love with.
Aww.
Yeah, rude.
His wife was running the business and he was off finding a mistress?
They were working together running the business. And because, she's a person, she aged.
Unacceptable.
Patriarchy. However, Hans knew that as long as his wife was around, he could never have a life with his young mistress.
Oh, no.
She ends up as sausage.
Is it a little obvious where this is going?
She ends up as sausage.
Some sources say they had an argument and Hans lost his temper. Others say that one night after the shop closed while his wife was sweeping up, Hans snuck up behind her, wrapped a cord around her neck, and strangled her.
Well, that escalated quickly.
It did escalate quickly. No matter the story, the couple lived in a part of New Orleans where space was limited. Neighboring houses butted up against each other, which made it difficult to conceal things, especially from the town gossips.
Ooh, Tiffany.
Yes.
So what did Hans do?
Hans chopped up his wife and made sausage.
He had a plan, and while he didn't chop her up, he did stuff her body into the meat grinder and made her into sausage until there was nothing left.
Ew.
Fun, huh?
Oh, no. I'm so
Did
skeptical.
sausage sales spike with a little aged meat?
Ashley?
It's
What?
not aged.
I mean, it is aged. She's probably older than the pigs they used for sausage.
She has a point.
But I thought aged meat had to be like,
Not like cured.
That-
That's because she was old. He killed her because she was old.
well, okay, fine.
Okay. Hans continued his life with his new mistress, and when people came into the shop and inquired about his wife, his story would change. Sometimes she'd be ill, sometimes she left town. Typically, she was visiting relatives,
As they do.
right? Because where else would we go?
That's all women are capable of, is being sick, being at the store, or visiting their family.
Right? Over time, the neighbors, however, started whispering about his haggard appearance and bloodshot eyes.
His mistress is going to chop him up.
Most importantly, they started talking about the decreased quality in his sausage.
Oh.
Some customers noticing bits of cloth and sometimes hair in the meat.
Ew.
Reportedly one night, this was Hans' account, while he was cleaning up around the shop, he heard a thumping coming from the back room, like someone was grinding meat to make sausages. When he went to investigate, he froze in his tracks. The ghost of his deceased wife was climbing out of the sausage vat.
Oh!
Hans would say that her apron was stained with blood and that her head was horribly mutilated.
Oh, no.
Oh.
After climbing out of the sausage vat, she made her way towards Hans, her moans filling the room and arms stretched out towards him. This continued for some time.
Yeah?
That's creepy.
And then neighbors grew more suspicious about Hans' strange behavior and even more suspicious of his missing wife.
Questionable.
Because, if you're being haunted every single day, you might look a little rough.
Yeah.
And not because you killed your wife. Bastard.
Just because you're haunted by her. I killed you and I still can't get rid of you.
right? It's called karma.
This is why you don't kill your wife.
This
This
is
or
why.
spot.
People in general.
I
Let's just
mean-
not kill people.
It's probably solid advice.
Exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy, and happy people don't kill their husbands. They just don't. Maybe he just needed to go for a walk.
Rumors started spreading. One day, the rumors were confirmed when a customer bit into a piece of a gold ring and a piece of sausage.
Ew.
Why do... Come on, buddy. Like, you didn't think to, like, take her clothes or her jewelry.
The police were immediately notified, because what else would you do if you found a piece of a gold ring and a sausage? And they quickly made plans to raid the sausage factory that evening. When they went into the back room, they found Hans huddled in the corner and screaming, claiming that he could see his wife emerging from the sausage vat for him.
Ugh.
He was quickly arrested and placed in an asylum, where he claimed daily that his wife was coming for him, until one day he had a complete and utter mental breakdown and committed suicide.
Oh.
The sausage factory was sold shortly after Hans was arrested. Reports say that his wife continued to haunt the building until the day he killed himself.
Her work there was done.
I was about to say, she got her just desserts.
And this was when I tell you that this is a legend
Oh.
that was based on a real Sausage
Yay.
King murderer.
Sausage King Murderer.
This is exciting.
So would you guys like to hear the real story after the drink break?
Yes.
please.
Should I mix something up for us?
Please do.
Please do.
In 5, 4, 3,
Hey everybody, this is Danielle,
and this is Daniel.
And I'm Carla, and we are Hoosier Homicide.
a true crime podcast by Hoosiers for Hoosiers, or for anyone that doesn't know what a Hoosier is.
Whoa. I don't know what a Hoosier is. Do you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do.
Great. We don't need to look anything up.
Go to Wikipedia and type in Alabama Hot Pocket,
No, don't do that.
and that'll tell you what a Hoosier is.
Just come listen to us. You'll find out.
Anyway, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle is @Hoosier Homicide. You can also download any episode you prefer off of Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify.
We tell true crime stories with some random connection to our home state of Indiana. So come listen.
That's what she said.
For the love of God.
And for honest to goodness,
Stay out of the corn.
And we're back.
We're back.
After
Tiffany's ready to learn about sausage. And I'm ready to learn about murder.
Give it to us.
there's two types of people. Reportedly, the story of Hans Mueller is based off of the real story of Adolph Luetgert.
Why is it always the Adolphs? I mean,
This was before that Adolph's time. The name hasn't been completely tainted yet, so
I
this
don't
guy
know that
was...
I've ever heard of a good Adolph.
Well,
I'm sure they're
not
out
going to
there.
prove that wrong here.
Oh, well, there we go.
Okay. So
Stay tuned.
Adolph was born on December 27th in 1845 in Gütersloh, Westphalia.
Oh,
Yeah. What she
So I
said.
can pronounce that, but not Hans, apparently. It's fine. Anyway, it's somewhere in modern day Germany, in case you were wondering.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of 11 children
Oh,
and
my.
fulfilled an apprenticeship with a local tannery. After traveling around Germany, he headed to London to look for work. Around this point, he was 19-ish years old.
Okay.
He immigrated to New York somewhere around 1865, depending on which sources you look at. It can be like 1864.
Okay.
And he was about 20 years old and had $30 to his name, which is around $500 today.
More than I got. Good job, Adolph.
Shortly afterwards, he moved to Quincy, Illinois, staying there for a couple months before moving to Chicago, looking for a job at a tannery.
I don't understand how all these people back then just like gallivanted around the world. Like it was no big deal. And now we have all these travel options available. And I'm like, man, I sure would love to go like 3 states away. But
Yeah, I'm going to Louisiana this weekend, and I'm like, oh, gas to get there and back. How am I going to afford
Right?
that? And he's like, oh, I'm going to go from Germany to London to...
Well,
New
he's
York
not
to
married at this
Chicago.
point.
it still cost him money.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Even
Okay,
before I
fine.
was married.
Right? Maybe we're just really bad with money.
Don't
Okay.
ask our husbands.
During this time, he married his first wife, Caroline Riopke.
Uh-huh.
On April
Nailed it.
Yeah, sure. On April 13th, 1872 in Germany. Their first son, Arnold, was born there in 1875.
And then they stayed in Germany because he's married and has a kid and no money.
After having a second child and being brought to the United States, so he did bring his family back to the United States after going there and marrying them and then bringing them back. Caroline died on November 17th, 1877.
Oh, no. Why'd she do that?
They didn't say. I couldn't find a reason or why or how. In 1878, some reports saying as soon as 2 months after Caroline died, Adolph married Louise Bickness, who was 10 years whose... I don't know how to pronounce this.
Louise Bickness.
Bickness. I don't know.
Beignet?
Bicknesse.
Bickness?
Bickness.
Louise Bickness.
I like Louise Bickness.
None of these, no matter how we pronounce it, it's not good.
That's fine. Louise Bickness.
Anyway, he married her as short as 2 months after his first wife died, and she was 10 years younger than him.
Oh.
Noticing a trend. She met Adolph by chance. I was working as a servant before their marriage. She was less than 5 feet tall, which stood in sharp contrast to her husband, who was a larger man because, he grew up working in tanneries.
I mean, that doesn't make him tall, though.
Makes him buff.
Sexy.
As a wedding gift, Adolph gave Louise a heavy gold ring with the initials LL engraved on the inside of it.
For
Louise Lickneys?
Louise Luetgert.
Got it. Forgot his last name.
Lickneys.
Because that's how name changes work.
Louise Bickness.
Because apparently when you get married, not only does your last name change, but so does your star sign. Yeah, you have to listen to our episodes in order. In 1879, Adolph opened a small sausage company that became successful, and in 1897 opened a 5-story plant on the southwest corner of Diversey and Hermitage called the A.L. Sausage and Packing Company.
I'd say that's
Well,
a little
that-
more than successful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We going for Jimmy Dean level here?
On top of that, next door to the sausage factory, he built a 3-story home for Louise and their 2 sons.
Well, now you're just gallivanting. I said no showboating, Adolph.
However, Adolph's infatuation with his new wife did not last, and they were reported to have frequently argued. Eventually, Adolph moved into a room at his sausage factory.
Having a change of pace there, Adolph.
Okay, guys, come on.
You should have known better than to talk to me and Tiffany about a sausage factory.
It didn't occur to me till right before I
Semen.
started recording.
I'm mature.
You're what?
Mature.
Oh. Okay.
She's a liar. On May 1st, 1897, Adolph and Louise went for an evening walk, and even the reports say he told his children that their mother had left on a trip. Adolph reported her missing on May 7th.
I'm sensing a theme.
When did they go for a walk?
May 1st, 1897.
And he reported her on May 7th?
Yes.
Okay.
Which I thought was a little weird considering the time.
The
Well, like in 1897, communication isn't all that fast.
Wibbly wobbly.
Timey-wimey stuff. Because of the overheard arguing, foul play was suspected, and during the investigation, an eyewitness saw Louise entering the factory with her husband on May 1st around 10:30 p.m.
No.
On May 15th, the factory was searched. An employee suggested that they look in the steam vat in the cellar that was used during the sausage making process.
Ew.
When the police looked, they found a putrid, reddish-brown liquid that filled the vat halfway.
You okay, honey?
When they pulled the plug, the slimy liquid and bones fell out. When they searched inside the vat, they found a gold ring with LL engraved on it.
Dum, dum,
Are you good, Tiffany?
slimy liquid in the bones and just the thought.
How he's like this big businessman who's done all these things and traveled and started a huge successful company, and you don't think to take off their clothes. But like the easy identifying factors.
And on top of that, near the vat, they found hair, pieces of clothing, and half of a false tooth. So he did not clean up at all.
Half of a false
You
tooth.
have to clean up. That's like rule number 1.
This is why there's very few committed female murderers. Because we know how to clean shit up.
So it's more suspicious if like someone walking to a place like there's not a fingerprint anywhere. In fact, it's very clean.
Huh.
And it smells like Lysol.
Interesting. I just like to keep a clean house. Don't judge me.
Lemon scented Lysol.
During the investigation, it was also uncovered that Adolph had purchased arsenic and potash. Or potash. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Potash.
One
Potato
report
hash.
said that he bought 378 pounds of potash. All of this was purchased before.
What is potash?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
He purchased arsenic and this large amount of potash before the disappearance of his wife, and that he ordered an employee to dump the chemicals into the vat on April 24th. And then on April 1st, he ordered the vat to be brought to a boil.
No. May 1st.
May 1st, yes.
He had him put it in April 27th, and on May 1st, they brought it to a boil.
April 24th,
24th.
and then on May 1st, brought to a boil.
And they went on the walk on May 1st.
Okay.
And after he thought her body had time to disappear, he reported her missing.
Disappear, melt,
Dissolve.
Something about a melting body. This is the second time we've talked about melting bodies today.
Why do you think I was talking about melting bodies today?
Got it.
That's why she said, don't ask.
Got it.
Yeah. We'll get into this. Adolph claimed that Louise went insane and ran away, and that the potash was for making soap to use when cleaning the factory.
Okay.
Prosecution determined that the potash mixture would be able to dissolve a human body using the mixture that Adolph was alleged to use in a cadaver. So they tested this. This test resulted in the same reddish-brown fluid and being able to determine that the mixture was capable of leaching calcium from bones while liquefying the rest of the body.
Ooh. That's useful.
I guess maybe
information.
he knew that. Maybe he used it to get rid of bones from the sausage factory.
It was unclear on that because like the vat that they used was a vat that was like part of the sausage making process where they would dip the sausage. I'm not sure why. I didn't research how to make sausage, but the vat was there and it was filled with stuff because dipping the sausage was part of
I was
making
just
it.
curious, like how he knew to use that combination. If like the detectives had to,
Yeah, like if that's what they did to the pigs.
yeah.
I mean,
like
it could
that's
be
what they
one
did to the
of two
carcasses
things.
or something.
It could be the fact that he knew what he was doing or the fact that he got really lucky.
True, fair. I'm gonna say that's how he got rid of pig carcasses.
I'm going to say he got lucky because he was stupid and left the ring and clothes on. And if he knew what he was doing, he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but pigs don't have rings.
You don't know their moms.
That is very true.
We also didn't say this was pig sausage.
I
just always assume that sausage is pork.
I'm going to,
Or beef, or chicken,
I'm gonna
or deer.
I'm going to,
If you're in the South, it's sometimes deer.
I'm going to pretend that it came from the ground. It grew in the ground.
Vegan sausage.
Yep. Let's just roll with it because I don't like to think about it. I like to eat it. Don't like to think about it.
Okay.
That's what she said.
An anthropologist determined that the bone fragments belonged to a human female. Fun.
Descriptive.
Well, this
I
is
know.
different than like if they just found pig bones, in which case, that makes sense that would be there. Fun fact, this was one of the first reported cases where an anthropologist was called to testify.
What?
All right.
Right?
You go, anthropologist.
Whoop, whoop.
Either way, the evidence was damning. And not just because of the amount of potash that he bought would be capable of producing 2,000 pounds of soap at a higher price than just buying the soap over the counter.
That's a lot of soap.
Right? You think like if he knew how to make soap, it might be a little suspicious that he bought enough to make 2,000 pounds of this stuff.
Maybe he was stockpiling for the end of the world. Maybe he's a doomsday prepper.
With soap?
I don't want to be stinky at the end of the world.
I wouldn't want to be trapped in a room with stinky people passing out soap. You get a soap and you get a soap.
That's my doomsday prep. We'll worry about food later.
Anyway,
Rebecca is
Adolph
not
was
impressed by us.
convicted and sent to Joliet State Penitentiary, where he died on July 7th, 1899, and he maintained his innocence until the end. Today, the sausage factory has been renovated into condos.
Oh,
Fun fact, you can live in a place where a woman was melted.
that's kind of cool. Who's saying that we don't?
I don't put that evil out there.
Not you, me.
Okay, good.
You don't know what happened in my basement.
I don't.
You don't know her basement's mom.
I don't know your basement's mom. Fair. Valid point. How exciting.
So that's the story and the legend of the Sausage Vat Killer.
So was his sausage factory in New Orleans?
No, it was in Chicago.
But the ghost is in New Orleans.
The ghost story,
The fake
yes.
ghost, yes.
I wonder if those condos are haunted.
They didn't say.
By little piggies?
Or by the woman that was melted. That would be my guess.
Meh. Maybe she didn't get killed in the sausage factory.
Maybe.
Maybe she was killed somewhere else and brought back to the vat.
But there were witnesses who said,
Oh, yeah, they saw her. That's why they started to search, because they
Yeah.
brought her back. They saw
Mm-hmm.
him. Maybe it was Weekend and Bernie style. Where
There
he
you
just,
go.
like, put her arm around him, like, everything's fine.
"Hey, neighbor."
Just going to check on our sausage factory at midnight like we do.
Uh-huh. I mean, I've never been to a sausage factory, so I wouldn't know.
If you have to check on it at midnight.
I have no idea.
They've got
I don't know the hours that sausage factories keep.
They
I mean-
could have third shift.
Yeah, I have no idea if they would have third shift or not. But even then, 10:30 is right around the time second and third be switching.
Now.
Well,
Yeah,
then that
now.
was just a bad move all around on his part.
Anyway, that's not the point.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Semantics.
That was fascinating.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for freaking her out, Rebecca.
Melted bodies.
Ugh.
Full
Melted-
disclosure, I did ask someone at work. I'm like, so if you had a vat and a lot of arsenic and potash,
What is potash?
what would knew this? It's like a type of potassium you can buy. It's
I think of like emptying a bowl.
That's what I was thinking, too.
that's kind of where it stems from, because like the way they initially used to make soap, they would get like ashes from the pot to make the soap because it contained lye somehow. I think it's from what they boiled or burned. I don't know how to
An
make sausage or soap.
Alkaline potassium compound, especially potassium carbonate or hydroxide.
She pulled that from the
Duh.
depths of her brain,
Yeah, just whoop, that's what it is.
not from Google.
It's not from Google. It's dictionary.com. Thank you very much.
Either way, I asked someone at work and it ended up with like a 20-minute conversation of melting bodies.
Hey, that's appropriate.
And then when Tiffany came by, I said, "Ooh, what are you guys talking about?" I said, "Nothing."
Don't worry about it, which of course I was like, I need to worry about
Tell
it.
me now.
I am needy.
That
You
was a
are
nice
needy.
little plot twist there, Rebecca.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it was-
thank you.
Plot twist.
I was expecting a spooky story.
I got you with melting.
I mean,
You
that was
did.
kind of creepy.
It was creepy, and melted bodies are weird.
So I'm taking it you did not like Breaking Bad.
I didn't watch it. My husband did, but I did not.
Don't watch Breaking Bad.
Okay.
It's on my list.
It's why you don't put hydrochloric acid in anything but the correct plastic container.
I don't think I've ever come in contact with that.
Hydrochloric acid?
Hydrochloric acid.
Yeah, HCl.
Is that used in drugs?
What is
No, it's just used to dispose of bodies.
what do they test for in pregnancy tests?
Not hydrochloric acid.
I could have sworn like on the cheap ones where you like drop it down in there, it has something like, and it's something CL levels.
I don't know.
Talk amongst yourselves.
As Tiffany, as Ashley goes into the deepest parts of her brain to determine, do women pee acid?
I mean,
Hey, pregnancy does some weird.
I'm pretty sure
Things.
ammonia is a base.
well, look at you with your smartness.
What did you say it was?
I'm pretty sure
HCT?
HCl.
It's HCG.
That's not
Human chorionic gonadotrophin.
Yep. I'm positive that was correct.
human chorionic gonadotrophin.
Yep.
That is probably a hormone. Says this hormone right after it.
Sorry.
Anyway, on this episode of We Google Stuff,
Hey, Dr. Google, paging Dr. Google.
I like it. How exciting.
You don't make acid when you're pregnant. I got so mad when I was pregnant, I felt like I could spit acid sometimes.
like
I thought you were
the
gonna
dinosaur.
You were going to say you got so mad because you couldn't have acid. I was like, wow.
I really just wanted to trip balls when I was pregnant. And
I don't know. Some of those dreams I had, I thought I was tripping. It was rough.
I have questions to ask after we're done recording now. Shall we
Oh,
wap this up?
just wait for Mother's Day.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness. Mother's Day is going to be so much fun.
I'm so excited. good. Which you can
glad.
still ask.
I'm
But,
glad y'all are.
oh, it's going to be good.
I don't
Just
think
bring wine. I'll drive you home.
Remember, friends.
Alrighty, well, remember, friends, everyone has something that they find odd. Let us tell you why it's not.
If you have any questionable topics you'd like us to discuss, you can share them with us on any of our social medias. Links can be found on our website, theladiesestrange.com, or you can email them to us at theladiesestrange@gmail.com.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. And if you think we're doing a great job and want to support the show, you can find us on Patreon. Keep it strange, lovelies.
And don't forget to read your food labels. Make sure there's no hair or rings in there.
Oh, God. I have issues with eating meat already. Now I'm just going to, think of dead humans in there. Oh, I can't eat meat now. Thanks, Rebecca.
Bye.